Voyager. When I eventually watched it, I did enjoy it.
Anyway, Star Trek Voyager. Yes, that's what we're watching,
Yes.
right? Voyager.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're watching.
Voyager Season 3, Episode 19.
That doesn't sound right. Anyway, okay, so today, The Forgotten and E Squared. The Forgotten is the one where Trip talks about his sister and Degra's all sad, and we're supposed to feel bad for him because he feels sad about having committed genocide. And then
Poor Degra,
E Squared.
having to commit genocide.
In E Squared, we get to meet T'Pold. Get it? Because she's T'Pold, but she's old. That wasn't a typo in the stream title. Yeah, they get to meet their descendants who are also on Enterprise. But it's a different Enterprise. Kind of.
But you meant to bold, like in past tense, not literally old. You just been to bold.
Well, I
Isn't
think
that what happens-
Archer's descendant is going to get T'Pold.
I mean, Trip gets to Pold several times throughout this season.
Ah.
Then he can't stop getting it because he's been mentally connected.
Mhm.
She left part of her... It's not chakra. What's the word?
Isn't it? I thought it was chakra.
It's... No.
Patra, isn't it?
Patra.
Ashra, yeah.
She left
Same
part of her
thing.
katra in his soul or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
in
up with
Star
that.
Trek, only Vulcans have souls.
That's a good point. Star Trek does never establish if anyone else has a soul, but clearly establishes.
That one episode of Voyager where they're like, the people are being beamed into an asteroid belt as neural energy, and they're like, maybe
It's like, wow,
a
you
soul.
thought this was an afterlife? Wow, you guys are stupid.
Maybe it's a soul. I don't know. Maybe.
There's a
go in
couple
there and test
episodes
it.
of Voyager that deal with afterlife, and specifically how Neelix doesn't get one, but B'Elanna
Yes.
maybe does.
He gets
yeah.
like nothing. He just gets dark.
I say Chakotay has an afterlife, doesn't he? He has a near-death experience. That.
Yeah, he turns into a spooky ghost for an episode and possesses people.
Yeah.
Oh, Chakotay, what a character.
So Talaxians...
He certainly
So,
was a character.
okay, humans have souls, Vulcans have souls, Klingons have souls. Talaxians do not have souls because they suck. Apparently.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, true. They're basically mole people, aren't they? Like,
So they return to the Earth, where they belong.
No,
That's
don't bring the
their destiny.
Talaxians to Earth. Keep them far away from the Earth.
we don't need any other
We
horrific
don't want them
cooking.
here.
Gordon Ramsay's got enough TV shows already.
Who else has a soul? Do we have any other afterlives? I mean, Captain Picard has kind of a fake afterlife with Q.
Yeah.
Is Picard in his afterlife right now? Because his body's dead, but he's still alive.
Hmm.
Does that
Mhm.
count?
I guess his soul is in the new body.
It's fine. Don't worry about it then. Don't worry about the details.
Don't think too hard about it.
But that's what this show's supposed to be.
Hmm?
Think.
Intellectualism in my Star Trek.
It
How
cannot
dare
be.
you.
All right, about 35 seconds to start. Everyone be queued up to The Forgotten, Season 3, Episode 20. 320.
Who did we forget?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Is it all the dead people?
I guess, are we forgetting Trip's sister? I don't know.
Poor Trip's sister.
That's the only person we know actually died.
Pip has a sister? I forgot about that.
He used to. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, he had a sister named Elizabeth, and then she got incinerated, and he's all upset about it.
Why be upset about it? She's incinerated. She's not in pain.
I don't know, maybe she owed him money.
Oh. Ferengi would be upset about
I just accidentally clicked skip recap.
Well, don't.
Oh, thanks. Right, I'm going to get myself synced up again.
that. I wish I had a bioweapon.
Why?
No particular
Hang on, that's a
reason.
very dodgy thing to say on a live YouTube stream.
So that I could improve humanity, of course.
Oh, look, it's Trip getting pulled.
Oh, there's some nice drug abuse.
Yep,
Very
T'Pol's
nice.
having some heroin analog. Oh, there goes Lizzie right there. She's dead.
Oh,
That's
the kill cam.
One.
Bye, Lizzie.
Bye, Lizzie.
It's okay. She was
Lizzie
created as a
became Lizzie.
character only to die. That's her only purpose.
One
Does
piece.
that guy have a neck brace on the bottom?
Some of the pieces. Some of the pieces are missing.
What we have of
Oh,
her
there's
is in
neck
one
brace
piece.
guy.
The other pieces aren't one piece anymore.
Oh yeah, Trip also needs to write a letter to a dead lady's parents.
Oh yeah.
Wait, why?
Because she's dead.
Oh. Oh yeah, it was one of his subordinates. No.
This is very dramatic, but all I can think of is that guy's wearing the cone of shame.
He can't look up because his neck is literally frozen in place.
Oh,
John
that's okay.
insists on
Happy upbeat
walking to
music.
somewhere he can't look up.
Perfect. Seems like everything's good and chill and happy and calm. It's lovely. Anyway, how's the weather?
Let me check.
Nice.
Overcast.
Actually. Much better than the week before.
Cool.
I say, yeah, I haven't managed to catch the stream for a couple of weeks because of work, and it has been horrible weather.
All gross and sunny and stuff.
Was, yeah.
No, I mean, I was out in the field for Monday to Thursday this week, and it was just wet and windy.
We're coming up on that shuttle from Picard.
Oh,
Where is it? There it is. OV-165. Yes. Now we have lore about it. A little bit. A little lore.
Oh, really?
We do. Yeah.
I haven't worked up the nerve to watch the new Picard stuff, honestly.
The whole
watched
season or
the
just the
new
latest
season.
episode?
The whole season.
It's good.
I haven't
It's better
watched
than
the-
season 1, I think, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I made the mistake of watching the Red Letter Media review of it, and they are not happy with it, so I'm just kind of
No,
like...
they're not happy about anything that's new or different.
Yeah.
I do think if it is what they say it's like, where instead of just saying, like, if they're just saying issue bad instead of doing what sci-fi is good at, which is exploring the issue, then it is uninteresting.
It does have an element of that.
One of the episodes just don't quite explicitly about it. That's because they need a particular message to come across in a particular way.
Oh, that's an interesting Discord name.
Ryan? Yeah, I win with it because my name is Ryan and I make edits. It's just convenient.
just died.
Oh. We got someone at Walmart joining the Discord here.
Oh, what? Wait, you say Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart's where you get your food and your stuff. Poor Trip. Oh, there's the dead
Ow, my
lady.
ears.
Yes.
Wait, I thought she was alive. No.
What?
she's
No,
dead.
the dead lady is not alive.
Just bring her back to life. This is supposed to be the future.
No, they don't have nanoprobes
people.
yet.
Ah.
They can only resurrect people, well, in TOS and Voyager. A lot of
Oh,
Voyager.
Bob Burton directed this episode.
There are a lot more.
Directed a lot of the episodes in this season.
Oh no.
They're trying to play Never Gonna Give You Up, but it's not working.
I see.
If you prefer, you could just sing it to us.
Right,
Well,
does
Or-
this work?
Go ahead and give it a shot. So far, nothing's working.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he's really laggy right now.
So if you get brought back to life by nanoprobes, do you need regular nanoprobe injections or you just die?
I think you're probably just fine.
Or do they just fix everything?
And off you go. Hmm. What's the situation with 7 of 9? She has to keep some of her nanoprobes.
Hello.
Does she? She needs to regenerate her skin. So saith Rick Berman.
And they can't remove all the implants.
Hey, Argos.
Just remove all of her skin.
Yes, Argos
Hello.
is alive again.
Did Argos die?
Yes.
Briefly.
Well, I was put into an eternal slumber, so it really depends on your definition.
Okay. Close to dying.
But I have escaped.
Oh, we guys.
Somebody's got
No,
like
it's just not
auto-tune
working.
audio coming through.
If you want to try to
Yeah.
troll by playing
Wait, who
music,
is
what
it?
you should do is you should get voice meter and then route the audio output from your song player to Discord specifically. Don't just try to
Yeah,
hold
but-
it up to the speaker because it doesn't come through because of noise filtering.
Discord automatically filters that, and then like people like me that use NVIDIA Broadcast, it filters all of it out.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
Oh no, man!
If you're going to
Level
troll, get
one
your
troll.
audio set up done properly.
You are no match
Yeah.
for Discord.
Sorry about the incoming ban though.
spit out.
It's been fun.
I don't know. I don't feel the need to yet. I'm having a great time.
Because everyone's not doing very well in this episode.
Can I have your
Wait.
guys' attention?
Yeah, he has something to say.
Nice Degra shuttle.
Oh damn, they got us.
Did
Oh,
they? I actually just
no.
muted them on my end. So Degra was
someone's
so
washing their
quick to
hands.
betray his people. He had like half a conversation with Archer. It's like, yeah, no, I'm on your side now.
Well, Dedra's
Zero
been
loyalty.
seeing the issues going on.
Let me just try to.
Yeah, time travel, Archer. Why don't you do it? You do
Yeah.
it in another show all the time.
Well, the Vulcan science director has determined that time travel is impossible.
What does
Yeah,
the
it-
Science Vulcan Directorate say on the subject?
It's unfair.
Let me check.
Well, to be fair, Ryan, they are taking up a slot in the voice channel.
True.
Oh,
Here, let me just start with a casual disconnect and see how that goes.
A casual disconnect. Which was the other one?
A
Oh, the
casual
name.
ban.
The other what?
The other person that was with
That
them.
was Nate.
Yeah. So I can
Oh.
preemptively mute. Oh, like a boomerang.
No.
Alright, here we are, caught up. This
Has
is
this been a ongoing problem children turning up and
Nah, it's
annoying the
happened like
stream.
one other time, and they also completely failed at their audio setup. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, we're kind of waiting on like the good troll so that we can be like, oh my god, they got us so good.
except
Oh my
no,
God,
I can
guys.
There's no
preempt
good
that.
troll.
If there's someone who's actually good at trolling, I can just mute and get rid of them.
Come on.
I've already got the
Hopefully this-
broadcast set up.
Hopefully this process will eventually filter out all the bad trolls and we get the pinnacle troll. That's what I'm hoping for.
The penultimate troll.
That would be the second best. I don't want that.
She
Trip, you should
sounds very
probably
shaky
sleep.
and
That seems
emotional.
important.
Isn't this the
Um,
bit where he gets literally ordered to sleep, but then he's like, yeah, I'll sleep, and he goes to just not sleep, and he's got to stand
He
there.
has to like, he tries to bargain with Phlox, like, I'll sleep 4 hours. It's like, no, 8. 6.
5.
Yeah,
No,
and,
you
he,
don't
Take it or
want to
leave it.
sleep.
and he goes to just not do it, and Phlox just stands there like,
5 hours
I'll
is pretty
inject
good.
you if you don't do it. I'll do it.
You know,
Well, if you've got sex in a while, you do need your full 8 hours of sleep.
yeah, I don't think that's the way the human body works, Soma. I think
No, you
If
can't
you're
catch up on sleep, but you do need to get a bit of recovery.
I think
Here comes the
after it.
bargaining.
I think I'm kind of starting to feel the bimodal sleep cycle where like you sleep for like 3 to 4 hours and then you sleep for another like 4 hours after being up for like a couple hours. I think it's how we evolved.
That just sounds
Or there's
inconvenient.
been some studies on this, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think there has been, but the way you presented it there was really like weird. Like, yeah, I did it, so I think that's how we evolved.
yeah. Sorry. Okay, there's been studies about the bimodal sleep cycles.
This one time I drank an energy drink and I stayed up for a long time, and I think that's how we evolved also.
Thanks, Argos.
Except the energy drink was adrenaline from the hunt. Apex
The energy
predators.
The energy drink was just methamphetamines.
No, it was not. I want that for the record.
Does Monkey Man have a name?
Furby.
Steve.
Furby Steve.
All I know is
There you
he's
go.
not
Waters
Degra.
again?
There's Degra
Oh,
and not
then-
Degra.
That's how the primates name themselves, not whoever they're closest to.
Degra needs to get something done about his hair.
I'll have you know that's the height of.
All right, welcome to
primate
the stream,
fashion
everyone.
right
We
now.
are joined. I'm Ryan, and we are joined by not Ryan, 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 and not Ryan.
And Degra.
And Degra. Degra's pretty cool. Well, he's not. He's a genocidal maniac. But, you know.
Here, this tube. It
Only
says
because he was
everything.
told to. Like, come on, guys. He was just following orders.
He's the leader
I
of
like
the
to think of
council,
myself
man.
as not
And he's just
young.
following orders from space
From
lady.
himself.
No, from a bold space lady. I mean, if a woman, an alien woman from the future with no hair, turned up and told you to kill someone, you'd do it. I mean, you'd
If
do
you
it
say
immediately,
so.
wouldn't you?
I wouldn't even know how to build a Death Star.
So you'd turn the entire product.
Oh, it's
of
Seth
your entire
MacFarlane.
society.
What's up, man? Like being in Star Trek enough, he went and made his own Star Trek show.
Yeah.
He just liked being shouted at there, that's it. I'll make my own Star Trek show with blackjack and hookers.
Right, I also
That's
get
the
shouted
whole
at.
thing.
He shows up in some future episodes as well. He'll come back. But yeah, Seth is here.
It's really
Yeah, the
like
episode
gets
where they're all
shouted at
getting
so much
taken
in
over by this
in sci-fi that he goes
ship.
and gets shouted at by his wife in the Orville.
Phlox, you can't do that.
Why is no one ever
Negotiating
relieved
for
when
sleep.
they're relieved from duty?
Just gonna arrest you, put you to bed.
You don't mess with Flock's Trip. What is a car? Do they have cars?
I was just going to ask the same
I mean,
thing.
Kirk is gonna have a car in the future, so
They still
True.
have cars because transporters haven't caught on yet, and they don't just have a transporter at every corner that takes you anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
But they could have like a bunch of just shuttlecraft.
There's interesting
could
alliance
fly.
That seems
biocast as
excessive.
well.
Yeah, well, tell that to Star Wars. Everybody owns a shuttle. Some kind of cellular degeneration.
Not everybody, Ryan, just the people important to the plot.
Coruscant, dude, have you seen Coruscant? There's like a mile thick layer across the entire planet of what are they called? Speeders? Air speeders? Place is crazy.
Not shuttles, suborbital.
Everybody has some kind of airship. Maybe
But
it's
those
like
are just cars. They're just
like
fancy
rent
cars.
a bike. Take a bike, leave a bike, except an airspeeder.
A double cross.
Isn't that racist?
Classic.
I still don't get why Trip has a diving helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't even have an interest in
diving is
diving.
popular in Florida.
Actually, wait. There's a thing that didn't make it into any of the scripts. I think it was for the episode Shuttle Pod 1. Where Trip was going to talk about his relationship to Archer and how, like, one of the ways they bonded early on was going diving.
That would make more sense. Yeah.
Well, you can just go diving in that big gouge that the other Zindi weapon created. I'm sure that's quite deep.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they
it's
get
actually,
a new
because we
river.
get to see it.
A canal.
Yeah,
It is.
for free real estate for now.
There she is.
Yeah, to be
Hello,
fair,
Taylor.
at this point in our history, most of the peninsula of Florida would be either underwater or uninhabitable anyway. So
Nah, they reversed all that. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
they've reversed the global warming. It's fine.
We put chemtrails in the sky, and that reflected all the sun's rays back to the atmosphere.
And
But what did
hopefully
it do to the
didn't go-
frogs?
It
Oh, you
turned
know what
them-
it did.
Didn't go all Snowpiercer on them.
Hey, not Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, not Ryan.
Hey.
Is she a ghost or is she a figment of his imagination? I bet ghost. We've seen ghosts before.
Maybe
Oh,
he's
I'm betting
imagining a
Sphere
ghost.
builder. She's the sphere builders appearing to him.
Do the Ghostbusters still exist in the future?
no, the mayor of New York put them in jail. Or don't you
Saratoga mentioned
remember?
another ship.
Trip, you really need sleep if you're hallucinating dead people. Take a nap. God, we never got a scene like this in TNG or DS9 or nothing.
I mean, in a way, what
But
we
they
see
were never gritty and realistic.
No, we get it in DS9 when Miles comes back from prison and he's seeing the guy that he killed in the simulation.
Oh yeah.
That guy never even existed, though.
I think when we see Jack Crusher at one point, Picard or Wesley has like overwhelming guilt or anxiety. Like, it's pretty. It's a similar theme. Like My dad came back. And he didn't.
Oh, that was the episode. That was the last episode Wesley was on the show with the Native Americans, where he has the vision quest and he sees his dad and tells him not to follow him.
Have any of you ever had a hallucination where it seems that real? Like that? Like a person speaking to you?
I've never hallucinated, unless you count dreaming while asleep.
No,
Nope.
I've not spoken to someone that visceral. Is that map of the Expanse behind him?
I don't know, but why are the Zindi symbols inside Starfleet deltas?
Yeah. Degra has interesting hair plugs. Like that surgery wasn't around back then.
It's odd. Degra, just kill the humans, finish the weapon. Wipe them out.
I saw Connor Trip, who in Suits with Patrick J. Adams and Meghan Markle. He played a lawyer. He played a country lawyer.
He crops up a lot of places. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that show came after Enterprise, so he was no longer Trip.
That's generally how acting goes, yes.
Wait, no. That man is Charles Trip Tucker III. He's a real person. You can't tell me that that's not really Trip.
But
That it's an actor.
Charles Tucker III won't be born for like 100 years. So we couldn't have met him.
But he's real.
Scene. It's imagine someone who lost someone on 9/11 trying to control an Al Qaeda.
Is Archer green screened in here?
Yeah, this is an Al Qaeda victim, a 9/11 victim explains to Bin Laden what happened.
Yeah.
This is.
And like obviously the captain has to. If he hadn't jumped in, Trip might have taken his swim.
Okay, no, he's here. It just he looked weird and fuzzy when he was standing in the back.
Yeah.
Maybe he's another hallucination.
Is the augment episode season 4, or have we already had it?
It's season 4, yeah. In fact, there are 3 augment episodes. It's an arc.
Yes.
God,
Good one.
I always forget that's what it's season 4.
Looking forward in the schedule, we will be watching those May 1st.
Nice.
Borderland, Cold Station 12, and the augments.
You can't expect Trip to be happy here.
Literally trying to be polite to the guy that murdered his sister.
Yeah. Florida. That's the name of the place you attacked. Let me hear you say Florida.
Cuba.
Like, there's that human response, you know, like, let's just bomb the crap out of them and make it a parking lot. But, Archer has to be the voice of reason.
I think we have empirical evidence on why that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Are you referring to Archer being the voice of reason, or just bombing people in retaliation for stuff?
Just bombing people in retaliation. Although it did work once. It did work once.
Oh, it did work at the end of World War II.
That's the point. That is my reference.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, that means it worked twice.
Yeah.
No, it only worked once. It just took 2 bombs to get the submission.
I'm pretty sure they were surrendering after the first one. We just bombed them again.
Were. They absolutely were. Yeah.
Also, Dresden, the bombing of Germany counts as twice, I feel. So Japan and Germany were bombed into submission. Dresden was arguably a war crime, because how much fire are you going to set to one city?
Yeah, you know, destroying an entire city full of civilians. Just a casual war crime.
Yes, unfortunately, Britain
Yeah.
started the civilian bombings in World War II.
London
There
was
very good
bombed.
reason to do it. It was entirely
Yeah, so that's only
justified.
after Britain bombed Germany.
Actually, Japan wasn't bombed into submission. They only surrendered when the Soviets threatened to invade. That's
Yeah,
when they surrendered.
right. The Japanese
you
had a
know-
philosophy against surrendering.
Yeah.
Like,
Because all their cities were being bombed already. What's two nukes? You know, their
Well,
cities are being
2
bombed
nukes
left
is a
and
lot.
right.
also, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were
The
spared from
fire-
the fireboming that Tokyo
The
was not
firebombing
spared
campaign, yeah, the firebombing campaign was more lethal than the atomic bombs.
The
Yeah,
atomic
and,
bombs were really just a show of force. They were a one-stop, look, we can do this. Yeah, firebombing and regular bombing was actually more destructive as a overall tool.
Yeah,
Of
especially when
course,
the
if we
houses
could-
are made of paper. It's kind of scary.
In
Well,
any
yeah.
case, maybe we shouldn't just go bomb people.
And in fact, in political science, we've discovered actually bombing a country really hard creates a rally around the flag effect. Whereas even if the people were not for the government before, they will rally for the government after.
It's like the we found exactly the same in Afghanistan and Iraq, where when troops sort of started, where enemy fighters were rescued, injured, and given medical care and got back on their feet, they were then more likely to de-radicalize themselves and go back to their villages and sort of de-radicalize their local population.
On an unrelated note, or somewhat related to bombs, I guess, I think this is the exact same point in the saucer where that Romulan mine was.
The one that pierced through Malcolm's leg.
Yeah,
Well, they
Malcolm
already
tried to
had-
kill himself there, and he's trying to kill himself here, too.
They already had the assets, so they figured just reuse it. It's been 2.5 years. Nobody will remember.
I remember.
This is why you're not meant to watch it all at once on a streaming service.
Well, then it was the impulse manifold, I think. Is this the warp manifold now?
I don't know, don't worry about it. They're right next to each other. It's not that big a ship.
Also, we're on the verge of like disarming the Zindi, so couldn't have come at a worse time.
Oh, they fixed it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I like how First Contact set up the maglev suits, but like we don't see it till Enterprise. Well, in Star Trek 6 they had the magnetic boots, but that was indoors, not outdoors.
Probably works on any surface.
It's odd how in Star Trek 6, they are magnetic boots, but they call them gravity boots.
True.
I think the bottom of the boot is just gravity plating flipped over, so you're it's sucking you to the ground because they work on non-magnetic surfaces, right? So
Do they?
they have to. How, like, if you're
You just
inside
put it on
of a
bulkheads.
ship or on the hull of a ship, what if you step on something that's not, magnetic?
I think
And
everything's made of metal, like a car.
Yeah, but not all metal is magnetic. Only certain metals are magnetic.
Also,
Iron
Paul, yes,
and-
Paul, you do have to queue up your own episode and match to the timestamp. Because for obvious reasons, I can't play the show on a YouTube live stream. So just gotta blur it out, no sound. Bring your own TV.
Actually, you don't have to apologize for Mr. Tucker. He's completely justified where he's coming from. If anything, Degra should be apologizing to him.
Quite true.
No, the attack, even if you wanted to save your people, the attack wasn't necessary. The attack was stupid, Degra. You just gave yourselves away. We all know it.
Mm,
But Degra doesn't seem mad about it. He gets it.
yeah. I can't wait for
Sounds
the
like
Uriel
that could be
episode.
it.
Sorry.
Well, you know what's a horrible way to gain someone's trust? Attack their planet and kill 7 million people. You know, usually. just saying. You know, like scale of things that cause
They
you
were
not to
acting
trust
on
each other.
bad information.
Oh yeah, is that an excuse now?
Well, it was for the U.S. after 2003, so the table turned a little bit.
Hmm. Assuming I don't already know that. Your review.
Well, but you asked.
Anyway, wow, it's a ship of exploration.
It's
That's
gonna be
very
this
well
season
armed
five
for a ship of
when they come back to
exploration.
exploration.
Yeah, by the way, we're not actually a warship.
Just ignore the fact that we have armor and weapons, and
I've
we've
successfully
murdered
fought
one of your
several of your warships.
science stations.
The ablative armor was a later upgrade. So
They
we
have
can make
polarized hull plating, though.
Yeah,
Mm.
sorry, that's what I meant to
No, but
say.
that has functions.
It had polarized hull plating from the beginning.
But that has a function sort of wider, I assume. It can help with debris. It can help with.
Yeah, it helps defend against a wide array of people you're trying to kill.
Well, yeah.
Practically useless.
It's not useless. They're doing the best they can, man.
Less dings. That's a benefit.
Mm.
Like, Archer complains to Tucker about a ding on the ship later that he promised to fix and he didn't fix.
That was in season 2.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's why we need reverse polarized hull plating. Archer doesn't want dings
Reptilians.
on his ship. Degra has a great costume on. Am I allowed to say that?
It is an interesting costume, yes.
So that reptilian ship looks like it's like 4 times the size of Enterprise, but Enterprise can still beat it?
Yeah, this part
It's a
shows
big ship.
how bad the insects are. They're willing to like kill others, Indy, to kill Enterprise.
Oh, what if... Okay, here's what we could do. We could go full speed toward the reptilian ship and ram them with Degra's shuttle. That worked real great the first time.
This is kind of like the TNG season 1 episode Code of Honor, where Riker has to give the shield frequencies of the Enterprise D to the Klingons to win the battle simulation. Except this is not a simulation.
This is like that episode where someone goes, I may have committed some light treason.
Arrested Development.
Yes.
They never show in the Xindi Council what happens to the reptilians when they break the council's rules. It's just like, oh, well, we still have a council, you're just not listening.
Everybody loves some treason.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, Degra's pretty committed now.
Treason.
Whatever doubts he might have had don't really matter anymore. There's no turning back.
Oh,
Okay, now
how
there's
the
definitely no
tables-
turning back.
like the prior episode.
What about the prior episode?
Sorry, Archer was so mad at Reed for destroying an insectoid ship. It's like, well, they were going to go back and report to their superiors. He's like, I didn't.
Well,
order
what he
that."
could have done was he could have like hidden them, cut off their communications and hidden them for a while. Ah, look, it's the Ferengi thing.
What?
That prop has been a Ferengi something container. It's been a spatial mine, I think. It's been a few things.
Okay. Just looks like an
Zindi.
ottoman.
Well, I'm glad Enterprise didn't get beat up again. We've seen enough of that.
It's not boring. And a bit not the Enterprise.
Is it Xindi? The Zindi.
Yeah.
I maintain we should just get rid of the letter X. It's what's the point? Just make it Zindi. X is a worthless letter.
True. Its function can be replaced. But you remind me
Man.
of Cicero. He said that why do we even have a letter C in Latin? Because we use it like a K anyway.
Is there a website that's like a huge catalog of all the props we've seen on Star Trek?
X
Does Memory Alpha have
asterisk
something like that?
Scientia, I believe it's called. X asterisk Scientia. They're the crazy people who catalog every little detail in the shows.
Last year was the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and I watched the. I didn't watch all 6 hours of the ceremony, but 3 hours of it at least I watched, where the survivors read the names of their family members.
Trip is now feeling the effects of his sister being dead.
Yeah, and some kids never knew their parents. It's very heartbreaking. I'm glad the show kind of encapsulated this because
Does Trip get a hug?
it's I mean, it's good acting too.
I like how also they came down on the end of it where the Zindi kind of come round. Oh wait, I'm jumping ahead, but
Yeah,
it didn't end up how Afghanistan ended up.
yeah,
And
not
Iraq.
nearly as bad. But still though, to people who lost loved ones, it's grief is a devastating emotion. It can hit you like a panic attack, and it's important to process it. So I'm glad
What
we
is
get to
that
see.
stuff? Wait, what's that stuff wrapped around the pipe on the ceiling? Well, now it's gone. It looked like they just tied ribbon around it. Or electrical tape. There it is. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
that?
it looks like a bike coil or something. Like a
Cable guys, really
lock.
big.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to be wiring or something.
Not
Last
giant
time-
Ziplocs?
Robo and I guess the
Not Ziplocs, zip
IDE
ties.
SATA cables.
Oh, that's convenient.
So Enterprise is right now held by shoestring and chewing gum.
Duct tape and baling wire. Yep.
Yeah. Or fishing wire and chewing gum. Back in the day when we didn't have cell phones, we had to use like payphones. and we had to make plans with someone. Like, hey, I'll meet you on the other side in 3 days.
Yeah, no, I pay for a phone plan. What do you mean? We still do that.
No, but now it's like you just text them like, "Yo, where you at? You said you'd meet me here 3 days ago," and it's like, "Oh, I had to go with groceries to my mom." But back then, you had to be there at B Square. There wasn't instantaneous communication. And that other Mako woman from Florida, it's cool that Trip had someone to bond with. Because obviously, on
And why
9/11
did she just cease to exist after that episode?
Because on 9/11, like a lot of firefighter companies, they lost like entire battalions, and police officers too. So they were hit harder than just the regular civilians or people who worked there on that day.
Yeah, there was entire
Ladder
stations of firefighters who were in the buildings when they
Yeah.
physically ended up collapsing. It's like, this entire trained
Yeah.
facilities wiped out.
Yeah.
Pretty
crazy.
PTSD is apparently by percentage, PTSD is more common amongst firefighters and police officers who were in New York on 9/11 than it is amongst service persons who then served in the follow-on 20 years. Because everyone in New York on 9/11 basically has ended up with PTSD.
Why do you keep saying yeah?
I'm agreeing.
Oh, sorry. I think I had the
It's
wrong
verbal
person muted.
shorthand. That's why.
I was only hearing one half. Now I've resolved the issue. I just kept hearing. I hear you saying yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like,
I just agree with everything everybody says. That's all.
No,
No,
you
you
don't.
Yes, man.
No, you don't.
All right, everybody, cue up E squared. 1 minute to E squared.
E squared.
E
It's funny that
squared is
on Netflix, at least, the title is
Oh, wait, is this the one-
brackets E squared.
Is this the one with
T'Pold.
T'Pold? Oh man, out of stock.
No, T'Pol's
When
still
did this
in
go out
stock.
of
She's still
stock?
here. Yeah, this is the episode where they try to go through the subspace corridor, and then things get all screwy, and then they have to use the transporter as a weapon again, and it's great. Which really, people should do this more. Just start beaming things off the enemy ship, and you win. As soon as the shields go down, just take it.
Oh, yeah,
Let's play in 5,
that's
4,
gonna be fun.
3, 2, 1, play.
Something interesting about PTSD, firefighter companies aside, one of the worst things is that when you're deployed to, let's say, a war, or it could be a prison sentence, and you don't know when you're coming back. It's just, indefinite. So, if you know you're going to do the 20-year stint in jail, you can start counting down. But if it's like, okay, you're going to do an indefinite amount of tours in Afghanistan, it takes a bigger toll on you psychologically and your family.
The moral of the story is don't be a firefighter.
Or, have a military that can have enough forces that some people don't serve 20 years and other people don't serve any years. It's not fair.
God, this guy's a failure.
This part makes no sense.
Absolute worst. This dude had what, like 50 years to prepare? And he didn't do nothing.
He makes a good son, though.
Absolute failure.
Does he? If I had a son, I wouldn't want them to shoot me. Seems less than ideal.
I will touch the
So they're gonna get your power.
I'm
If
sorry.
we
What?
if we killed some of the people on this new ship and transferred their organs to our people, like if we did a nice organ transplant between old T'Pol or new T'Pol,
We can just keep T'Pol infinitely alive, like transferring new organs into her every time loop.
but also I'm thinking once they go through the subspace rift or whatever, the corridor, would those organs just cease to exist in the transplant body?
Maybe if the time police are on it. You never know. Time police are always lurking. They're always
Oh,
looking
well,
for
they're
Janeway.
really
Is Janeway here?
time.
Has anyone seen Janeway?
Janeway's everywhere. She's a menace.
Admiral Janeway.
Just
Captain Janeway's a menace too.
She's not. Until Voyager crew is on the line, she's time police.
God, Paul,
I
you
do
didn't
really
even
like-
sweep your floor.
I do really like the idea that Janeway's just a menace, though. Like that is the kind of character she is.
Janeway and Kirk are both hated by the time cops.
Sure.
Has anyone seen that new whatever the hell she's in now?
They're not a kids' TV show.
Star Trek Prodigy?
Prodigy.
Yeah. Has anyone actually watched it? I haven't.
Yeah.
No, I'm not 8.
No, it's only
Yeah, I've watched
CBS or Paramount Plus, so unfortunately not here.
It's okay. It would be better if I were the target audience of children, but
Yeah.
it's fine as an adult.
It's like, is it worth bothering to try and track down illegally online? Sorry, what?
I mean, you might as well. I mean, what have you got to lose?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
guess
got
I need to go. I need to watch Picard and Discovery since, neither of them are on.
You don't need to watch it. You can just not watch it and enjoy yourself.
Or you could watch it and enjoy yourself.
No, it depends on what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of person who hates things just because they're different?
Are you the kind of person that likes some exploration of the issue using the medium of sci-fi?
Are you the kind of person who
Yes.
gets really angry at a television show for not being what you wanted it to be?
Did you like Pinocchio?
No, actually. I didn't like Pinocchio, now that you ask. I don't remember. What was
Who
Pinocchio?
directed this
There was a
episode?
whale. There were some donkeys.
Wishing Upon a Star.
There was a dude with a beard, I think.
Oh, that's right. He was like kidnapped and put to work. Turned into a donkey. That's it.
Wouldn't it be easier just to get
Oh, yeah.
actual donkeys? They're not in short supply. Donkeys
episode
make
was-
more donkeys.
This episode was directed by Roxanne Dawson.
Please use her
Um,
proper name.
No, she's credited as Roxanne Dawson in this episode.
Her proper name is Belana Torres. Thank you.
Sorry. Here we go. I was waiting for this. They took so long to roll these credits. Like 5 minutes in, you tell us who the director is?
Is there a missile that has a mind of its own in this episode? That would make sense.
Is there mommy issues in this episode?
Belana
hope
doesn't
so.
have mommy
Star
issues.
Trek plays it differently, but
No, she's got big
the
daddy
nipple is
issues.
actually still so low density that it makes basically no difference to census.
Wait. If Randy here, if he wants Archer to testify before the council, can't he just take Archer in his shuttle?
Yeah,
And
they
bring
did it
some data
before.
pads?
They literally did
Yeah.
it before.
Yeah, why don't they do it again? Why do they have to bring the warship?
Well, on the topic of why do things, a few weeks ago, somebody asked why blow up the ship. There's these religious terrorists who took over the Enterprise and then they blew up their own ship. And he was like, why do that? And the reason is burning bridges. It's a military strategy. So now your
The
people, they
Cortez
can't,
strategy.
Yes.
yeah, they can't change their mind and go onto their ship and retreat. Now they have no choice.
That's interesting because burning bridges has a different sort of use now. It's like, say you have
Yeah.
like a relationship that you destroy
Your
just
friendships.
on the way out. That's like burning bridges instead
Oh,
of
I-
Yeah.
that terminology.
I really like Enobrin Tane's way of burning bridges. Always burn your bridges behind you. You never know who may be following.
Yeah, but he didn't do it correctly, did he? Well, you know
No.
what happened to him. He
He
didn't burn well.
survived for a bit.
Did he?
Well, he survived the attack, and then he went to the prison camp and he died there.
Oh yeah.
But as Ryan pointed out, it's called the Cortez strategy because Hernando Cortez showed up in Mexico to fight the
Was a
Aztecs
crazy
with,
man.
with a handful of Spaniards. And frankly, if you have 3
I mean,
ships
did
or
it, didn't he?
10 ships, you want to go home. But if you burn the ships, guess what, lads? We're not going home. We're taking over the greatest empire in the New World.
We're taking
Also
over this
in-
dump.
Also employed by Arthas Menethil, also known as the Lich King, later.
Later.
But yeah, there's no turning back.
You could also
Is
say
there
that the
currently a
Russians
Lich
employed the
King?
same
Is anyone up
strategy.
to date on WoW?
No, why would
What's
you be
that?
up to
Is
date
there a
on
Lich
that?
King? I don't know.
Because the dude said
He's
there
got
must
such
always be a Lich
chunky
King.
ears. Look how chunky his ears are. Oh, big
Yeah,
chunkers. Big radar.
He's well endowed as far as
All
weapons
the
go.
better for hearing you with.
Yes.
That Enterprise is so much more
He
damage.
basically has like extra spectrum on his vision because he can hear so good.
Is Sylvanas the Lich King? Lich Queen?
No.
Hey, that's Molly O'Brien.
Yeah.
It's like that Molly episode where she's on the planet and they get thrown back and
I mean, that's literally not Molly, but okay.
no, it's not Molly, but I'm saying it reminds you of the Molly episode now.
Okay.
Yes, Molly doesn't have a giant nose, bigger than the Bajorans.
I mean, Hannah Hate might be old enough at this point to play like a kid on the show, like a teenager.
They should have had Molly in this episode.
Why would they have Molly?
Retroactive continuity. Sorry, never mind. But it's also like the Morgan Batesman episode where the Enterprise D is caught in time loop.
Okay, so what are they doing here? They turned down the saturation, turned up the contrast.
This is the flashback
and dropped the
to
frame
when they
rate to-
first went inside the thing 120 years ago.
Well, I know that, but I'm just looking at the technical effects.
Oh, okay.
They dropped the saturation, increased the contrast, and dropped it to 12 FPS. And then they
all
added an
fuzzy and
echo.
stuff.
Yeah. And the
All of the
exposure
cameras were worse back in the day, so that's how you tell people that it's black and white.
All the technology went back from that far as well. Hmm.
I think a little bit of they overdid it here, but a little bit of a washed out effect shows us that this was the past. But yeah.
Ooh, spooky past.
They're in the woods.
It's out of phase with our reality.
Mexico is yellow, the past is washed out. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Not this much though, and like you said, they didn't have to
What if
reduce
we-
the frame rate. And add
But
the
what if we
echo.
went to Mexico in the past? Would it just be a little yellow?
Imagine being born 50 years ago when it wasn't HD. Like you come out of the womb in non-HD. Like that'd be horrible.
100 years ago when it was black and white, you come out of the womb and it's black and white.
First there was darkness, then there was lightness.
Then there was RGB.
Mm.
And then there was LED. So many colors. So cheap to produce.
Hey, that's a cool cup.
Like Sandorian.
Teardrop. But to Paul's old acting, I don't know. I'm kind of outgrown. I'm not into it anymore.
I think you get a lot of opportunities to act older
Yeah,
in this series.
and they age her like 100 years.
Mm. We've had the one where she aged like 30 years or 10 years or whatever.
And then there's the one where she played her grandmother.
Mm.
And she's old to begin with, right? She's like 66. So
Is that a Phlox
Yeah,
ridge
Probably.
on the lady? What's
The
with the
other
ridge?
species as well.
No.
Yeah, it's just an alien.
Discount Bajoran.
See, the thing that's I really like this concept, but this episode makes no sense because they would have had like so many opportunities to help the Enterprise and they just didn't bother. They knew exactly where the Enterprise was over like the last
Well,
couple of
the
years.
Enterprise won't exist for like 60 more years. This is just Enterprise.
Also, I think their ship is not repaired, so they couldn't even have gone back to Earth and warned them of the Xindi attack, for example.
Yeah, they don't explain why they don't go destroy.
They only tried to stop the probe after it was already launched.
Mm.
They could have shown up and been like, hey, by the way, in 20 years, someone's gonna come up and tell you lies about us. But no, we're chill. You wanna hang out?
Why didn't they just go to Earth and shoot the probe? No.
Oh, so this breaks canon, and this is why I hate Alex Kurtzman, because he just like ruined Star Trek. But like, this is the first human Vulcan hybrid. And
I think
Spock was the first one.
I think Alex Kurtzman has some type of psychological issue that he explores with Star Trek. I
That's a
really
new
do.
take.
I really do. That's a what?
That's a new take.
No, I think
Yeah,
he's got.
you know,
I think he has an issue.
Why does Enterprise
with-
break canon in giving us the first human Vulcan?
I think his
hybrid?
issue
That's
is
not
that he
supposed to
doesn't
happen.
actually watch Star Trek. That seems to be the problem.
Enterprise is ruining classic Star Trek. This makes
What
me
do you
so
mean
mad.
Enterprise is ruining classic Star Trek?
Yeah,
He's
because,
making fun of you.
I'm just saying though, Enterprise is post the 4 classic series that I grew up with, right? So to me, this is all postmodern, mumbo jumbo.
Postmodern?
Yeah. So
Do not invoke those words here.
I think this is just ruining the continuity that we had in Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek.
How?
And I'm not happy.
There wasn't continuity in TOS. It literally wasn't a thing.
That's like what's that little gun thing he's got? It's like those things that read your temperature.
Yeah,
looks like
that's a
one of
digital
those.
thermometer.
Yeah.
And it works very well for what it does.
I suppose it might actually be useful in there.
Speaking of interspecies offspring.
Sorry, what?
Excuse me.
Hey.
Interspecies offspring. The Jadzia and Worf should not have been able to have a kid.
Why not?
Well, I have good news for you. They didn't.
Okay.
That is explicitly like a plot point in the show, and she saw Dr. Bashir, who worked really hard to to get them knocked up. and she prayed to the prophets, and then she was pregnant, and then immediately after finding out she was pregnant, she was vaporized by Gul Dukat.
She wasn't vaporized. She was just held in the air by a couple wires, and she like shook around a little bit.
Yeah, and she wibbly wobbled, timey-wimeyed, and then she died.
Well, she died.
But that means we may have the embryo on ice somewhere.
And Ducat was like, "Oh, sorry, you were in the way," even though I could have just pushed you out of the way. What's
Oh, she's the archer. For some reason, before we started, I was thinking that the captain was the archer.
The Vulcan?
the archer?
It's like Thomas Riker, basically, too. Like if he was transported before time.
It's old babushka.
So how come the corridor has been repainted, but T'Pol's quarters haven't?
She's
She
very
said no.
resistant.
He likes it how it is, all right.
I guess
just want
if you have
things as
nowhere
they
else to
are.
go on a small ship, they don't want the smell of paint in their room.
Mm.
You can't really open the window to
Oh,
ventilate.
this is the TNG old makeup again.
Yes.
The old Admiral makeup.
It's good to see you. Stay a while and listen, Captain Archer.
I'll identify all of the unidentified objects you've picked up. Oh, I'll do it. I bet you'd like to know the attack rating on this sword, wouldn't you?
I had expressed this on a prior stream, but I don't like how Tucker is told by Sim that, hey, Tucker tells T'Pol that he loves you, and then T'Pol tells her younger T'Pol that you love him, or whatever. Like,
Don't worry about it.
like
Just trying to make sure. All she's saying is, you've got quite a treasure there in that trip, Tucker.
Quite a treasure. Young, feisty treasure.
And Archer didn't like anyone on the ship to settle down. He had to find an Sikaran.
It would be inappropriate for him to have a relationship with a subordinate.
That doesn't stop a lot of people in Starfleet, but okay.
Yeah, but Archer's like super principled. Only that one time he didn't do his principles, but Earth would have got blown up if he didn't.
Hang on. Kirk never dates a subordinate. Picard never dates a subordinate. Well, he does, but then they break up because she was a subordinate.
He gets rid of her faster than yesterday's leftovers.
Cisco doesn't.
She gets rid of her faster than yesterday's Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think
Cisco
any of the
doesn't, does
captains have a relationship with a
What
subordinate.
about the
really.
one on the
Cisco
new
sends
cartoon?
Cassidy to jail. Just
Look, Kirk always has like a captain's assistant who it's kind of like sort of implied, sort of.
Kirk always has a captain's assistant who should really talk to HR.
Yeah, and then also, so there's the I think the time where he gets turned, like split into good and evil halves, where the evil half kind of like roughs her up a little bit or tries to take advantage of her, and she's like, I would never report you, you're my captain.
Yeah, that
Remember
episode's
that?
messed up.
And also in the
Wow.
cage, the captain's assistant and was it the first officer?
Yeah.
They were, when they were taken down to the planet, they were like
Expected to mate with their
Thosians or whatever they're called. They're like, oh, this
Talosians.
one likes you, Talosians.
Yeah. But the
Talos,
number
the
one is not
unassailable.
interested. The number one's like not interested. It's like the ensign who's.
Well,
somewhat
the ensign's pretty cute. Not gonna lie.
That was a long time
you
ago.
know, the nerdy
But now
kind.
she's probably 85 or 90.
Actually, your grandmother.
You'll have to dig her up now.
Look, T'Pol can be attractive in this episode, so there's nothing wrong with.
T'Pol can be attractive in this episode. Yeah, she can.
What, old T'Pol? Old Admiral T'Pol?
Yeah.
On a completely unrelated note, the ground just shook a little bit, so I might be getting an earthquake.
Oh. Maybe it's the big one.
Did you try and steal some mammoth cheese from a giant nearby? That could also be it.
Nah, I don't believe in
Let's see if-
ingredients or food in Skyrim.
I don't believe in food. What?
There was a magnitude 4.1 earthquake 6 days ago.
Just getting to him.
This Tucker.
4.1 ain't nothing.
There is a magnitude 2.6 just now.
Can't even feel that.
You got like suspension shoes that you just it just absorbs it. Doesn't matter.
No, it's just 2.6 is nothing. Unless you're like
You
right
literally
on
can't
top
feel
of
it. I don't think I've experienced an earthquake before, so I don't know what
You
it
want to
feels
come
like.
over, Argos? We have them all the time.
I had an earthquake.
Get off the plane and instantly fall over.
Well,
we are still waiting
hopefully-
for the big one, in which case, if we get that, a bunch of people are going to die. But so far that hasn't happened, and we're good.
And we have like 20 minutes left to the end of the episode, so hopefully it'll wait 20 minutes.
Well, we got another
Yeah.
episode after that, right?
No.
So-
No, not today.
Only 2
Ooh.
episodes today?
Two
Yeah,
episodes
Ryan's-
today, and then the next stream is going to be 3 episodes for the finale of season 3.
It fits the
Oh.
arc better of the show.
Wow, I feel cheated.
You and me
We're
both.
still
bro.
watching the same amount of Enterprise, just on a different day.
I'm back to that to happen.
But I need
Also,
my
if it wasn't 2
fix.
episodes today, it was going to be 2 episodes for the season finale.
Yeah, this is something really hard. Like, you can try to set up a morality, but like your children and grandchildren will probably be like, what do you know?
Oh yeah, you're old.
Yeah.
The situation was different. Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
XYZ factor makes this different.
Yeah.
They've had 117 years or something, right? And they haven't built any
Unfortunately,
injectors.
Travis is the only person on the ship you can say "Okay, Boomer" to. And he's also the youngest on the ship. What's up with that? I think he's the youngest.
Isaac Asimov's Foundation was turned into a TV series by Apple TV.
Yes.
And it's really good. But like on that same principle, even if you had an exact genetic clone of yourself for like 400 years, at some point that exact genetic clone of you raised by other clones of you would be like, yeah, you don't know anything, I'm changing the whole plan. And so it's you can't even keep consensus with yourself, much less other people.
The flux
Yeah,
coupler.
We're going to couple the flux.
What happens to the flux capacitator?
I don't think that's Starfleet technology.
Also, any amount of cloning, you'd end up within like, I don't know the number of generations, but it's like 6 or so generations. It becomes unsurvivable if it's an exact copy each time.
Yeah.
That's with our primitive cloning technology.
I mean, that's
That's also established in
you can't-
TNG,
That's
though.
just general reproduction. It's just the effects of reproduction. It
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
clone
in
exactly.
theory, even reproducing with your first cousin isn't the worst idea the first time, but keep doing it and you will wind up with all kinds of. In fact, I was reading one, the Habsburg, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. They had so much of that everybody in the family had like their jaw strutting out because too much inbreeding.
Surely any amount of inbreeding is too much inbreeding.
Your first cousin's okay.
With
the
a
first
little
time.
bit of it, as long as you take care of it afterwards.
So, but anyway, yeah. But first cousins are not allowed in Western culture, but other cultures practice it just fine.
Yeah, the issue is when you start doing it for a second generation, a third generation.
Yeah. But frankly, if I don't know, maybe because I've been raised here since in New York since I was 3 years old. I'm from India. Your first cousin is basically your sibling, so it is kind of disgusting.
It's not. It's a half sibling at
It's
best.
disgusting.
At best.
It's very close. It feels just like your sibling. I feel. Maybe
Okay,
I'm
let's
American.
move on from this line of conversation and dating relatives. Oh, look, they're stealing components from the starship. They can't do that. That's illegal.
Hey, step engineer, what are you doing
No,
there?
shut
in
up.
The
Be
injector
silent.
manifold?
Keep your forked tongue behind your teeth.
But Tucker and T'Pol have to look at their offspring. Like it's kind of weird. Like they're grown children.
So I also look at the back of the bridge. They put in the differentiators we will later see in the Columbia.
Yeah, they put in the whoop whoop bars to make it go faster.
They haven't
No,
upgraded their weapons
they
in
have-
over a century.
They also have shields,
What
so
a terrible crew.
I guess there's not really anything to upgrade to because everyone else's weapons also suck.
I thought that they had shields from Shran.
No, that was the alternate
No,
future
different episode.
That was the alternate future? Oh. Well, this
Yeah,
is an
that was
alternate
the one
future.
where Archer loses memory. Twilight, it was called. Not to be confused with Twilight.
Robo, are you filing paperwork?
Do you bring enough chips for the whole class, Robo?
I don't even have chips in this house. I wish I did. No chips here.
There we go. This is how we should be using the transporters all the time. Just beam components off the ship.
They've taken all the EPS manifolds. Every single one. That ship should just blow up right there.
All right, now Archer, just leave.
Genuinely
Please get the
excellent
injectors
combat
back.
tactic to borrow that component.
I hate how at McDonald's they have all these kiosks now.
Oh, it's amazing. You don't have to talk to a person.
Exactly. I don't. Less interaction with human beings, the better.
It never takes my order, never takes my credit card. I just want to pay and get my food and be out.
Maybe it doesn't recognize you as a
It
person.
doesn't. It really doesn't.
I was at a McDonald's the other day, yesterday or the day before, and a woman came in and she wanted to order, and the person said you have to use a kiosk, and she looked at the kiosk and she goes, I don't want to use a kiosk, use a credit card just for $1, and she left. I'm like, if you use your credit card anyways, what difference does it make to put $1 on your credit card or not? Like, it's
Well, 2% back on $1 is just insulting.
That's a whole 2 cents.
Anyway, I just thought it was hilariously outrageous that was where she drew the line. Like, I don't want to use a kiosk. I think it was just she was intimidated by having to use a computer.
Probably
and
spend more
she
than
was-
$1 in
She was
fuel
like
getting there.
65. Yeah, no shit.
I mean, that is legit true. Older people will struggle.
Yeah. Well,
But it's
I'm
not
only 30.
complicated. They have big pictures of the food and you press the food that you want.
Yeah, it's as easy as they could possibly
It's
make
not like
it.
there's a drop-down menu.
No,
That
it's
sounds
really not.
complicated to me, Ryan. Like, I don't want to press push on
It's
this
really
too,
not.
you know.
The person is trained to input all the commands into the machine. I'll talk to the person. I don't want to be putting commands into a machine.
To be fair, actually, I mean, my experience with some McDonald's in this country, the person tapping commands into the machine is more incapable of doing that than I am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I literally had to tell someone what to do once while they were trying to enter my order.
Oh, imagine someone being new on the job. How dare they?
Basically, yeah.
Disgusting.
Unbelievable, unacceptable. acceptable.
Why doesn't McDonald's have a more
They should just
comprehensive
remain
training program?
unemployed.
So how many scenes do we get where Archer has to like scream at somebody through the brig and be like, if you don't give me the information I want right now, I'm putting you out the airlock?
I remember 3 so far. There's this, there's Degra, and there's the...
Silic.
Do we get Silic in the brig? I don't remember Silic in the brig. We get the lady who bioscans people.
And then there's a guy he
sexy
has
lady.
to like torture for
Yeah.
information about the Zindi because we don't
Oh,
even know
yeah,
if the
that
Zindi are
guy.
2 species or 5.
The pirate.
Yeah.
The pirate.
So he had the opportunity to stop the probe, and he didn't.
He's dumb.
Big dumb.
I don't think he understood his mother or his father pretty well.
How did 2 of the smartest people on the ship have a big dumb child?
You think? Well, I mean, I guess Tucker's smart.
No, Tucker's
Yeah.
a genius. Excuse me.
Do you know how to run a warp core? Trip does.
I can make shit up
This man
too.
does it like just using the dials. He's like, yep, yep, boop, boop, yep.
You have
it's
to
all
get
good.
the. Sorry.
Oh.
What's
Yeah.
Vulcan
You and your
captain's name?
big zips on your big jacket, you're gonna get them.
Who's that dude? Dorian?
Lorian?
Lorian? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know why they
turned on. I've turned on NVIDIA
Oh,
broadcast,
oh.
so you probably
Oh.
can't hear me putting the trash away anymore, can you? I hope.
Thanks.
Nope.
Much obliged.
Yeah, I
Old
didn't know it
Admiral
was
T'Pol.
turned off.
Wow.
I tried
Wow.
chamomile
Stuck
tea
on
the other day
chamomile
for the
for 100
second
years.
time and it's rancid.
No wonder she likes it.
You don't like chamomile tea?
Yeah,
What's
it's
wrong
pretty
with you?
disgusting.
Look,
What's
Picard
wrong
had
with
her
me
own
is I
thing.
like good tasting tea, I think.
No. There's something wrong with you if you don't like chamomile.
Like
Yeah.
Earl Grey.
Oh god, it's also disgusting.
Chamomile is just a
It's like
flower, by the way. So you
Earl
add it
Grey.
to enhance.
Earl Grey tastes like, you know, if you get the lemon scented dish soap and you just fill a big bowl of it, that's what Earl Grey tastes like. It tastes like dishwater.
Well,
It's
Earl Grey
was the Earl Grey
has,
Right.
hot?
You've got to
has
get
oil
Earl
of
Grey.
bergamot.
Earl Grey has to be high quality Earl Grey tea for it to be worth anything.
So what
If-
what tea do you like, Argos?
Black.
Yeah, but that's not like what?
Like-
Where are your leaves coming from?
right.
Oh,
Sri
I have no
Lanka.
idea. Probably India.
From the store?
Where are your
Yeah.
leaves coming from?
They come from the box that I buy them in.
Oh wait, what logs are there? Trip medical logs, trip personal logs.
She stalks Trip in her old age.
Maybe I just need to be given the good chamomile tea and then I'll be converted.
Ah, what is that little
need-
smile?
Oh, for the
Oh
feelings.
wow!
Or to Pole,
Trip-
telling young to Pole.
T'Pol is experiencing disgust, but also arousal.
Oh jeez, Argos.
No worse than what you've done in the past.
I-
Remo.
I'd expect that kind of thing from myself, but not from you, Argos.
I mean, you
What
can
was
see it on her
Argos
face.
done?
I'm just annotating.
She is disgusted. She like threw up inside her mouth a little bit.
See, what
Look
sucks for T'Pol, right? What sucks for T'Pol, right, is that
That's such an old
she might
dusty
fall
tag.
in love with Trip, which I don't buy it. I think that I still think her and Archer are a better pairing. But anyway, if she falls in love with Trip and they get married or whatever, she has to watch him grow old and die, and then she lives for like another 100 years.
Yeah.
And with nobody.
I
With
mean, she
nobody.
could date someone else if she wanted to.
But
She
she
has
doesn't.
that Vulcan guy who at home who like simps for her.
It's
Yeah.
the Vulcan guy from home.
She can just go home from the ship easily.
Also, T'Pol is engaged right now. She has a fiance.
Not
she-
anymore.
I thought that was already
banged
resolved.
Trip, so
No, that's resolved season 4. Like halfway
Yeah.
through season 4.
Oh.
she was
See, the
black.
problem is when we start watching a series, I speed through it and I finish it before we get through it. So now I don't remember what I watched and what we watched.
Yeah, and you binged on Enterprise in the first week of our thing, so you're already done with. The
Yeah, I
series.
finished Enterprise like the first week after we started it. So
Yeah. But it's a shame they couldn't work it out with their past future counterpart, because 2 Enterprises would have been so much better to beat the Zindi than 1. Oh well, that's what we're doing here. Like,
I
we
have
never
no
got
idea
two-
what even happened in that fight. I couldn't track it.
we never got 2 Enterprise Ds ganging up on some Galor class warships.
We got 3 Enterprise Ds ganging up on a little bit area of space. On
Yeah,
an
we got
anomaly.
infinite Enterprise Ds ganging up on Worf.
My favorite bit about the Infinite Enterprise D is the completely understated line from Wesley. The Bajorans are disengaging, because it's just so matter of fact, the way he says it. Yeah, of course
The,
they are. There's a million
he's not
ships here.
surprised. Of course, the Bajorans are disengaging. What do you expect?
A render monkeys.
I think what we need is to remake that meme, the meme with the one girl and all the guys, and you just have like the one spatial anomaly in all the Enterprises, all the Enterprise Ds.
Is it Enterprise Ds or is it Enterprises D?
Enterprises Ds. D's nuts. Ah!
It's part of the Enterprise is the
Enterprise
D.
D?
It is attorneys general, not attorney generals.
Also, Surgeons
Enterprises
General.
Mhm.
They're like an octopus. The plural is
The past tense
I
of
prefer
Surgeons General is
Enterprise
Surgeons
Ds.
Generals.
When they're all the same quantum, when they're all the same Enterprise D, but with different quantum signature, it's Enterprises D.
Wouldn't it be Enterprises D's?
No?
If it's
It only
Surgeons
attach plural to one word.
Generals.
No,
It's not
just
surgeons.
Surgeons General.
General in that
Okay, well,
context
you know
is an
what?
adjective, like for general stuff.
Is D an adjective?
Maybe?
It's the class.
I don't think it's an adjective.
No
I think it's
bloody
part of the
A,
name.
B, C, or D. It's an adjective noun.
Yeah. Well, it's no.
Like, anyway.
It's part of the name.
This watch along is fun because we come up with new terms all the time while we wait for the episode to resolve itself.
Yeah, while the boring stuff's happening on the TV, we do interesting stuff.
The music is pretty exciting here. I think, like, as this arc closes for the Zindies, I think Enterprise is the best music set to the action of any Star Trek show.
Agreeable, yeah.
Oh, that looks a lot like the DS9 wormhole, but updated.
Oh yeah.
Had the nice little
Yes.
swirl in the middle.
Whoa. It's so wibbly. That doesn't.
That's like 2 star systems.
It also doesn't describe where they are.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm like, where am I? Oh, you traveled 30 miles. Yes. So, where am I?
Yes.
That could either be closer to Sacramento or it might be the ocean.
Or underground or above the atmosphere.
But does Lorian exist, Archer?
Yeah, we're completely ignoring the fact that he might just not exist anymore.
Yeah, true.
Archer's just expressing that now.
Maybe a couple of nacelles will drop out of warp with some debris.
because the Vulcan Science Academy has concluded that time travel is impossible. Well,
A committee said it was so, and therefore it is so.
but actually, speaking of Isaac Asimov, he's the one who originally said time travel is impossible because we would have found one already.
Yeah.
If
You
time
travel
travel's
through time
impossible,
at
then
1
why does he
second per
travel
second
forward
right
to his
now.
death? Oh, it looks so tiny.
Thanks, Roxanne.
All right, so that's the last episode of
Roxanne.
Enterprise for the day.
You don't have to turn on the red light.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, chat. Nice
Next
seeing you,
week
Joe.
will be the finale for season 3, The Council, The Countdown, and 0 Hour. And at the end of that all, Nazi aliens.
Yes, my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah.
It's such a fun
every
episode.
time.
That whole side
We
story.
all love the
Nazi
Nazis.
vampire aliens.
Nope, no, we definitely do not
vampires
love the
and
Nazis,
demons.
Argos. Nazis are very bad.
It's a great episode.
No,
yeah.
I
Don't
think
love
what
these
he meant. I
people.
think
It's so
what he
much
meant
fun
was
to
that
beat.
we love to hate them. We love to have them as adversaries. We use them and everything as
Yeah, because they're the worst.
ready-made, canned, comical villains.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so
they're
cool.
Nope. Okay, Argos is disconnected. So, yeah, next week, more Star Trek Enterprise. And for the record, Nazis, bad.
Nazis bad.